as a start, what is meant by supply chain management, we have gone through that. It is nothing but the management of flow of goods and services, and it includes all the processes that start off, all the processes which are involved from between the start from raw materials till the final product is reached mainly to the customer. So the raw materials might come from the vendor, and from there you might be doing the manufacturing. From there, you might distribute it to other places like the warehouses or distribution centers, and from there, finally, you ship it mainly to the customer. So all the processes which are mainly there in between, which facilitate this, will form your supply chain management. And as part of supply chain management, we have the three different flows will be there. One is the information flow. Information flow in the sense if something has been communicated in terms of order. For example, if I require say 50 quantities of a particular item, you communicate it mainly to the supplier or the vendor that you require this material. Then that will be an information. Then based on that, the supplier might ship those materials. So that will be the flow of materials, and in return, you might be paying the supplier the money for whatever is the goods or services. So that will be the financials which are mainly involved. So in supply chain management, what all are the parties which are mainly involved? In between these, among these parties, there will be the flow of these three. One is the information, the material, as well as the financials, which are mainly associated to those. In ERP, it also facilitate the capture of all these informations, materials, and financials between the different parties which are mainly involved. For example, if there is any movement of materials, or if there is any payments or financials which are mainly involved, all these things will be recorded as part of an ERP system. Till here, any questions, Rupesh?
I think I had my mute. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So as an end-to-end flow, we'll just consider one end-to-end cycle just to show you the breadth and depth of this product, Oracle Fusion SCM. Consider that this one, you are starting off mainly with an idea. Means you are new to the market, you are starting off with a new product. So when you are starting off with a new product, you want to develop a new product and come up with a design, and then based on that, you want to develop a prototype or a concept. Post that, once the prototype or concept is all good, then you start with the manufacturing of those products. And once you start off with the manufacturing based on the market situation, this one, whatever is manufactured, you will sell it to the customer based on their requirement. And once there's a customer puts in a sales order, what happens is what all things which you have manufactured or produced, those things you will pick, pack, as well as ship those items to the respective respective customers. And finally, you do the billing process. And once the billing is mainly done, whatever is the cost which you have incurred in manufacturing that product, with whatever is the selling price associated to that product, you will calculate whatever is the revenue and profit associated to that product. So this is how the entire full cycle will look like. For example, if it is mainly starting off with from scratch, you are developing a new product. The first thing will be the design phase. Then you will plan how to this one. You will plan into manufacturing, how much quantities is mainly required, how much you need to manufacture. All those things you will do the planning process. Then post that, for each and every things which are mainly involved, you will procure those materials mainly from the respective vendors. This will be the raw materials. What all are the things which are required for manufacturing that product? You will procure those mainly from the respective vendors. Post that, you will do the manufacturing or production will be done from your end. Now, once you produce the item, once you have the items in place, the next one is mainly to sell it off to the customer. So the customer, when they places a sales order, based on that, you will try to fulfill those orders based on whatever you have it in stock. and you will ship those material accordingly, and finally you will bill it to the customer. Once you have shipped the product, you will bill the customer, and you will calculate whatever is the revenue or the gross margin. You will calculate on the costing side. So this is how the entire phase will look like. And in this phase, this is a generic example which I have taken as an end-to-end flow. In this, I'll talk about how the different modules will come in place through in terms of a screenshot across different modules, how it is mainly getting communicated. I'll just walk you through. So just to show you the this one on a high level, what all are the modules involved. The first one will be the innovation management. So we have one module called as innovation management, which mainly deals with idea to commercialization stage. So from a base for an item which is mainly there in its early budding stage, you might have an idea what all are the features or properties which mainly needs to be incorporated for your particular product. For example, you might be this one developing a new product in the market, say an electric bike of say 1000 cc or whatever it is. You might have some new features or uniqueness which is mainly in place. So you put in an idea what all are the things which is mainly in place. So you capture and prioritize what all are the ideas which is mainly there. Then you create a high level conceptual design in innovation management. So what all are the different components which are mainly required for developing that product, you will capture those. For example, here in this screenshot, if you see, we have something called as a tablet as what they are trying to develop a new tablet, say Vision Slimline S100 tablet is what they are trying to develop. And for those, they on a high level, they will capture what all are the things which are mainly required in developing those. For example, you might require a power management system, a software package, then a display unit, electronics package, a holographic package, mechanical package in that manner. What all are the things which are mainly involved on a high level? You will try to come up with those things which are mainly in place, and then you develop a high level conceptual design. Then, as part of the process, you will do then next process that you will do is the financial impact analysis and the strategic fit review you will do for that particular product. So based on that, the next phase you will perform how much, what will be the financial impact of those, when what is the return of investment, when at what stage you will have that break even time. So all those things in the initial stage itself, you will plan accordingly. So this is prior to the product development phase. So it is in the early stages where you have an idea in place and you capture those and conceptualize. You are trying to conceptualize those ideas. So for those, we have one module called as innovation management. Now, this innovation management, just to give you a heads up, this is one of a niche area in Oracle Fusion, because not many this one clients use this module altogether, because you know it, right? Whenever you this one enter market, once everything is established, post that once you have the structure and the business processes, everything in place, then only this one they might look into ERP products. They might look into advanced ERP products, because earlier stage itself they won't be this one trying to implement the ERP systems in any organization. So once it is established as what, most of the people will look into this one ERP product. So as a result, these might be used in case where it's an established firm and they want to come up with a new product. At that time, if they have the licenses to the product as what, they will start using these the modules. So that's why how say out of 100 customers which you have, less than 5% or 10% might be using this particular module. It's kind of a niche area, but this module is in place in Oracle Fusion on SCM side.
Okay.
Then the next module which is mainly dealing with it. So the first one is mainly on the ideation phase, where you come up with those. Post that, once the idea is there, in this you will come up with 3 to 4 things you will develop. One is the idea, the second one is the concept, the third one is the proposal for those, and the fourth will be the requirement for what all are the things which are mainly required. You will capture those in as part of innovation management module. Then once you have the ideas and everything in place, the next one will be the product development module. So whatever you see over the slide on top, whatever I have represented is the respective modules which will be there and the screenshot associated for one end-to-end flow. This is just to give you a idea about some of those modules which are there on the SCM side. Even though some of these modules we might not cover, for example, innovation management we won't be covering, but just to give you a glimpse of the modules which are mainly in place. That's why I have included this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So the second one is mainly the product development. So once you know what all other things which are in place, you come up with a bill of material and or an item structure. What all are the individual components which are mainly required? Those things you will try to this one assemble it. I mean, so what all are the things which are mainly required in order to assemble that product? All those things are in that sequence. You will try to come up and develop a bill of material or a structure you will try to develop for that particular product item structure. So here, if you see for this particular tablet, we might have something called as a display assembly, electronics package, all those things. And for these, what all are the individual ones which you will be using, those individual raw materials, whatever it is, and how much quantity is mainly required, what is the sequence in which it will be used. So those things you will come up to develop that bill of material or the BOM structure for those. Just to give you a glimpse of that. You know what is a bill of material or an item structure, right? Or
Yeah, I'm familiar.
okay, okay. So this one, if you see, if I'm taking something like cycle and bike or cycle, if I'm taking a bill of material, if I'm putting, it will show me what all are the different components which are mainly the smallest components which might be there in place from that. So if you see, let me just open one just to show you how it will mainly look like. For example, a bicycle might consist of a frame, it will consist of transmission, control, wheels, accessories in that manner. You will have the different components in place. This frame again will be made up of say frame, fork, stems, head parts, transmission, control wheel. It might be consisting of rim and tire in that manner. All the individual, smallest individual components which cannot be broken down further, those individual components which mainly form up your final product. That's how you develop this kind of a bill of material or an item structure. So this is just to show you what a bill of structure might look like. So it might have the various levels in which if you see the frame and all here in this part, this will be the smallest individual parts which will be assembled to the which will be used for the assembly of the bicycle. But the frame system might consist of all these four parts. So this will be one individual component which will be used, which can further be broken down into these individual components. So similarly, different components, component systems will form together to form your final product over here. So in that manner, you try to develop a item structure mainly, item structure or bill of material. The term which is mainly used common outside is bill of material. In Oracle Fusion, we have this term called as item structure, which we will be using. So here in Fusion, inside the product, we have something called as item structure, which will be used. It is same as that of bill of material. So once you have the product development module where you categorize what all are the components which are mainly required, the next thing is mainly you come up with the sequence of operations which needs to be performed. So you know which all are the components which are mainly required. Now you need to understand what all are the operations which you might be performing on those. So this is a manufacturing module in which you will try to create a work definition mainly for that item. A work definition is nothing but a sequence of operation that needs to be performed to this one produce that final product. The sequence of operation, it includes the details of what all are the materials or the components which will be used, what all are the resources which might be required for those, and what is the sequence in which the operations are being done. For example, for the this one tablet or laptop assembly, it might have say three operations like assembly, testing, packaging. In that manner, you might have the three operations which are mainly involved. And for each operation, say assembly, you might require one labor, one mechanic might be required in doing that functioning. And some of those components are like whatever we discussed as part of the bill of materials, say the display or electronics, which all are required at the initial stage for assembly. Those will also be captured as part of this particular operation. Then once the assembly is done, the next operation might be say testing. You might require another resource. A tester might be required for those, but for testing you might not require any raw materials. You might not require. So all the things which are associated for manufacturing that product, all those things you will try to sequence the flow in which the operations are being performed to get that final product. So that is what is called by the term as work definition that you will be trying to develop as part of a manufacturing module. In simple terms, in manufacturing, the design, whatever you have developed in the earlier phase, you will try to commercialize by creating a work definition. Now, once you develop the work definition in place, the next thing is to go to the planning module. So we have something called as a planning module, which will be there, which consists of a demand plan, supply chain plan, as well as sales and operation planning is mainly there. So in planning, we will try to develop a reliable demand plan and a profitable supply plan so as to develop that product. For example, as an example, you're developing a new product, say this tablet you are developing. You need to understand how much this one tablet you need to manufacture. So how you come across this figure is mainly you try to see what is the nearby product in the market. Let's say that which a similar product which is there in the market, which is almost in line with your product, a similar item you take. For example, this tablet, whatever the specifications are there in place, which is the nearest product which is there. So it might be a say mobile phone might be the case, or it might be some other competitor laptop. So for those, you will try to get those details. How much are the sales which has happened in the previous year, or what is the shipping history for those. So based on that, you will understand what is the demand in the market. So based on these information, say last year or last 5 years, what is mainly the demand mainly for that particular similar product? What is the demand? So based on that, you will come up with the figures. Say this year I'm going to manufacture say this 100 tablet for 100 new tablet or the new product which is mainly in place. I'm going to manufacture, so those kinds of things are based on what was the previous booking history or what was the shipment history. Based on that, you will try to develop a forecast for that particular product. That is what we do as part of that demand plan. Then we have something called as a supply plan is there. So once you come across with a figure, say I am going to focus, I mean, so the forecast value is I'm going to develop, say 100 or 1,000 tablets is what I'm going to develop. Then the next thing is to come up with a supply plan, how you are going to get that 1,000 tablets in place. So for that, you need the raw materials, whatever is the raw materials that you require. So for those, you will be raising the purchase orders from the respective vendors and how much time it will take to sequence those operations. So all those things you will develop as part of your supply plan. So that is where we have the planning module which will come in place. Rupesh, any questions so far? So yeah, if you consider even in the earlier phase, in the early development, till now the product is not yet this one commercialized or it is there in the market. So till this phase itself, if you see, we have cover means different modules like the innovation management, which we talked about. Then product development is another module which comes in place. Manufacturing came in place. Then the planning module. So in this manner, the for the same item itself, this one across modules, that flow will be there in place.
So this is used obviously in different kinds of fields, right? It doesn't
Oh,
necessarily have to be just manufacturing. It can be used in IT, it can be used in pharmaceuticals. Like it depends on the field, right?
yes, yes. For
Okay.
example, you are not manufacturing anything. You are directly not manufacturing anything.
Yeah.
Whatever is the product which is there, you are acting as an intermediary. Means you are this one a sales point. In that manner you are working. For example, if
Yeah.
there is any requirement, you get those orders from the customer, and from another vendor you are buying the product, and this one what is it? Delivering it to the customer. So those kinds of scenarios will be there. You might not involve manufacturing, might not come in place, and you might
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the innovation management, and all those things might not come in place in those. So based on the business cycle as what all are the different modules involved might come in place. So this is just a basic example for this particular flow when you are
Right.
starting off with the
So
initial
the
planning.
business,
Ah,
yeah, so the business will select what module they want and
hmm.
they'll work on it. The business doesn't necessarily have to use all modules, right? They'll only
No, no,
select
no.
what they need and that's it.
For everything, it will be based on the licensing. So
Right,
based on
right.
licensing or subscription is what it is. Just like how we subscribe mainly to this one, say our OTT platform. Just like how we subscribe mainly for Netflix or our TV channels. Similarly, in Oracle also for this product, it will be charged based on the licensing. So you want a product means when you buy that product, you will get this one, say a license for 50 users or 100 users in that manner is what you might get.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
beyond that, if you need to pay more for that particular license. So everything has just like our Netflix or this, where they will mention right the number of devices to which it can be connected to. The basic plan only might have only say the tablet or mobile. Then the other plan, advanced plan might have tablet, mobile, and then TV. Or two devices to which you can watch in parallel in that manner based on the number of subscription users or the users for which the license is mainly required, based on which is the plan we have. So based on which the client or the customer might have to pay that subscription fee.
Okay. Okay.
So that is what that is why tell you some of these modules might be niche area, because they might not go for each and every module, because there will be cost incurring for those. So not every modules they might opt in for. They might opt only for the necessary modules which they think that they will be using extensively. Hmm. So once you're done with the planning, you know now a product is mainly there, and you need to develop say 1,000 tablets in place. The next phase is mainly you might start getting the orders from the customer for those. So in order management, whatever the orders which you have captured, say from call centers or from this one electronically through web, whatever is the orders that you have in place, you will this one record those in the application through this one order management module. So for example, here if you see we have the customer which is mainly in place, and whichever is the business unit with which the customer is entering into that sales that you mentioned over here, then whatever is the item which is mainly in place and how much quantity is required, all those details you will mention as part of your sales order. So this is another module which is coming in place, the order management module. So this is used mainly to capture and fulfill the sales order from multiple channels. You might get these orders from various sources, say from web, you might get the order from, or you might get through call centers, or it might be manually entered in the application. So in that manner, from various sources, whatever it is in place, you will record it in the application. Now, once the order is mainly there, so you have the item in place, and once the order is in place, automatically, just in any e-commerce site, whenever you search mainly for a product. For example, you search in Amazon or of this one Flipkart or eBay. When you search for a particular product, automatically when you select that product, you will see the price associated with that. Whatever, whatever is the price associated to that. In Oracle Fusion also, similarly, to derive these prices of whatever is the items that you are entering as part of the sales order, to automatically derive that price, we have something called as a pricing module, which will be there in place. So the pricing module, it will get integrated with order management module. So whatever is the prices that you put in mainly for the item as part of say this one has part of for each and every item which you use as part of the sales order or as part of order management, those items you will capture those prices accordingly in pricing module. So whenever as part of an order management, whenever you create a sales order, automatically once you add the item, it will automatically show what is the price of that particular item. And there are tire based pricing and all those things you can involve, and you can also associate say discounts associated for your product. So those kinds of things you can have as part of the pricing module. So when I talk about tire based pricing, this one they might be based on quantity. You might have the pricing in place, quantity in the sense, for example, if I buy say 10 quantities, say within 0 to 5 quantities, if I'm ordering that particular product, then you might have a unit price for that product of say this one. So if the quantity is say between 0 to 5, the means between 1 to 5, not 0 to 5, between 1 to 5, the price might be say this one. 1 to 5 quantities which you are trying to order, then the price might be say $10. If it is say beyond, if you are ordering between say 5 to 10, you are trying to order, then the price might be say this one. Say $9 is what you might get the unit price of that. If you are ordering something above 10 quantities, then the price might be say $8 for each one. So in this manner, you can have those tier based pricing. You can provide discount mainly for a particular customer. So those kinds of things also you can derive or you can configure those as part of your pricing module. And it will show you the breakdown, what is the breakdown and how you come across that final figure. Once you click on that, this one, the amount or the price link, when you click on it, it will drill down and show you how it has come up with the final price. So in short, pricing is this one. Whatever is the orders that is in place to auto price these products using this powerful and flexible pricing engine. We use this pricing module. Okay. Then the next one which we have as part of order management, we have something called as trade management is there. So this is another module which mainly takes into account whether whatever the product that you are capturing the sales order, whether it is trade compliant or not, whether whatever the orders that you have received, whether you are shipping it to a particular location, whether there is any restriction or not in terms of doing trading there. So those kinds of things you can capture it as part of the trade compliances details. You can capture it using this module called as trade management. So these things are like pricing and trade management, whatever the functional area or the module which are mainly in place, it is directly integrated with order management. So whenever you create an order in the background, these things you can check using those. So here for this particular tablet, whether that location either it is a restricted or a sanctioned country or a territory, or whether there is any trade controls which are mainly in place, all those things will get automatically populated based on what we configure in the application. So this module is to ensure that whatever the orders that are in place are trade compliant. Then we have something called as global order promising is mainly there. So in short, one thing which I can tell you is whenever you order a product or whenever you search mainly for a product in our this one e-commerce platforms, say Amazon and all, when you search for a particular product, automatically few of those information you get directly when you search for a particular product. For example, you are searching for a mobile phone. Automatically it will show you one or it will show you 2 to 3 details. It will show you in return. One is mainly the price associated, that this one in Oracle Fusion it is captured through the pricing module. Other than that, whenever you search for a product, it will mention whether the product is currently on stock, whether you have sufficient quantities, or whether it is low on inventory, or whether it is out of stock. Those information you will see whenever you search for a particular product. Then the second thing is based on whatever is the location that you have placed as part of your profile, say whatever is the shipped location, your home address, wherever it is, it might show you another thing when it might, the expected date for delivery, it might show you this will be say delivered by say next Tuesday, or it might be delivered say by January 20. So in that manner, you will see that expected delivery date also, you will see for those. So here in Oracle Fusion, these details are getting derived as part of our global order promising. So the global order promising, whenever you create a sales order, in the background, it will check for the availability of those particular product based on whatever you have provided as part of your sales order, which warehouse it is getting fetched from, or how much quantity is mainly required. So based on whatever the details that you have provided, based on which the system will check in the background whether you have the sufficient quantity in your warehouse, and whatever is in place, the availability it will check, and based on that, it will show you the other details also, the expected delivery date and all those things. It will try to populate those values. So this happens mainly using this global order promising module. Any questions over here, Divish, till here? Any queries that you have?
So in this order management,
Oh,
can you go to that slide again? Okay.
which one you're talking about? This one
Order
or?
management.
Oh,
So is it possible for, so is it like a place where you go and put your order in,
yes.
or can you use it like, here's the demand and here's the products that we need to sell.
Hmm.
So you give the demand and then you give the products, and can it give POs?
No, the here the this one. So that will so you have the forecast or whatever is the demand you
Mhm.
have it. Based on that, you will be creating those POs. POs in the sense purchase orders will be created for the
Yeah,
components.
yeah.
So for that, automatically in planning, you can do that. If you know this one, which all are the suppliers which are mainly involved, and what all are the suppliers you are having any agreement with, based on those things, the planning
Mhm.
in planning for each individual module, those purchase orders and other things will be generated.
Okay.
So, for example, as I told you, my forecast is 4,000 tablets. So, 4,000 tablets, what all are the things which are required? For example, I might require the this one board might be required. So, those how many board 1,000 boards will be required that I need to get from one semiconductor, or one chip manufacturer or supplier. I need to get those in this one what is it, components from. Then a battery might be there, which I need to get from another vendor. Then the display unit, I might have to get it from another vendor. The memory, the storage, all those things, individual components, I might have to get it from various vendors involved. And based on how much quantities which I am manufacturing, for those in that manner, I will be means creating those purchase orders for the vendors. I think in one of the
Yeah, so
slide.
there's the
Uh,
manual part of it, right? It won't automatically, given the
I,
demand, create POs.
This one, it will automatically, through planning, you can automatically, from a planned order, you can
Yeah.
automatically generate those purchase orders.
Okay.
So that is in place. I will show you in planning module how it comes up. I think one slide talks about something related to that. Let me just show you that. I think the next slide only, I believe. Let me just show you. Okay. So if you see over here, once you have the order in place, once everything is in place, in the planning module, one can see whether there is any risk associated for any particular product, whether any risk is associated, those kinds of things also one can see if, from the planning dashboard area, when planning overview page, they can see those details. For example, you have for the various items, you have an infolet called as demand at risk. So in this, you will see the if you see the color coding, means color range is mainly there from low to high. You can see for those particular products in place, what all are at risk, or what which all product are at risk. For example, the order for this particular item, this is an item which I have the sales order in place. So whether that is in risk or not, in that manner, you can understand those mainly from the planning per se. So here, what all are the fulfillment risk? So for that particular order, you will see those details as part of, means as a planner, you can see those details in planning module. Now, here, so when I drill down, this particular thing is showing as green over here. When I click on it, I have this option to drill down to demand fulfillment. When I click on that, automatically I see for that particular sales order, for that final finished product, you see the components also, whatever is the components which are mainly in place, you'll see what is the risk which is mainly associated to that. For example, in this, if you see for this particular sales order, whatever we might have ordered, that might have individual components which are mainly there, which is mainly required. And in that, one of those components, if you see this particular item, the raw material which is mainly in place, this is a planned order which is there in place. So based on the planning, we have only the date which is mainly coming up as say somewhat in I think this is in January or November, is what this date is in. So they wanted to expedite it mainly by another 9 days. Then only what was the expected due date for this product can be fulfilled. So those kinds of things, the suggestions also, the planning module will tell based on how much time it will take for the lead times which are mainly associated for the individual purchasing components, all those things. Taking into account, it will know how much time it will take to finally manufacture that product. So based on that, if any suggestion is mainly there by the system to expedite a product and all, it will do those accordingly and provide you those suggestions. So
Okay.
based on the suggestion, you can this one change accordingly. One thing which you can do is either to push the this one sales order, you can push it to a this one extend the date for delivery, you can push it, or you can try to expedite the purchase order for that particular component to a nearby date, you can do those. So both the cases is there, either on the supply, or either on the supply side, on the sales order side for that particular order, you can delay it, say by another 3 or 5 days, you can delay it based on when this raw material will get available, or you can try to this one expedite the process for that raw material, get it on time so that it can meet the time requirements. So these recommendations, whatever is in place, once you as a planner, you can go through these recommendations and you have this option to accept those plans as well. So once you accept it, automatically, whatever is the say purchase order in place, if you see this order number, this will be the purchase order which is mainly there for this particular supplier. So this is a vendor and this is a item which is mainly required, and this might be the purchase order. So based on whatever is the planned order which is mainly in place, you can expedite those. So once I click on accept, automatically as part of the purchase order, this one the suggested the promised or the requested delivery date gets updated to the 23rd October.
Okay.
So this one you can control it mainly through planning. So once I click on this, I accept, and once I come up with those recommendation, what happens is this I am only doing it from my end now. For this purchase order to the supplier also, it needs to be communicated that there is a change which is mainly in place, and this is getting updated to a nearby date, so that the supplier also needs to prepare on that. Another 9 days, it is getting expedited. So means on a nearby date is what this order is getting delivered. So the supplier also need to ensure that he has the products
Yeah.
available and he has the necessary time to this one ship it, and it reaches the reaches my site on time. So for
Will
that
it automatically send an email as well, or?
yes, For that, this one automatically it can this one trigger in those mails, whatever is the changes that you are making to the purchase order. Automatically, these change orders will be
Okay.
communicated to the supplier, or the supplier can use the supplier portal module. Means, as I told you last this one session, we have this what is it? Supplier portal is also there. This one as part of procurement, I would have gone
Yeah,
through it. This one
it's in the bottom,
tool.
I think. Yeah.
Somewhere sourcing supplier portal. So the supplier portal is a module which allows the supplier, whoever is the supplier point of contact, they can log into the application and they can see the details of those respective this one, whatever are the respective transactions, say be it say sourcing or be it say purchase orders or invoicing or this one supplier qualification, all those things or whatever is in place, they can view those details or whatever is in line with them, they can view those details and they can even respond if any information or any updates is mainly required, they can respond to those using supplier portal. So here, if a supplier is mainly having access to the supplier portal, once the planner makes any changes, he will see the updates which are mainly in place. So when I log in as a supplier portal user, so this one, if you see here, lagering system is mainly the supplier which is mainly in place. For example, I am mainly the supplier contact for that lagering system. Then when I log into the application, I'll be able to in my where this one in supplier portal screen, I'll be seeing those some of those where it is requiring my attention. So whatever is the changes which is mainly in place, I can see those in my dashboard itself. I'll be able to see those details. If you see that these are some of those other details which are mainly in place, which the supplier users can go in and check for those. So if any orders which are mainly in place, I can related to the my particular supplier, I can go in and search for those orders. And if there is any suggestions which are mainly in place for my orders, I can go in and make those suggestions as well as a supplier. For example, this one organization could ask me for say 100 quantities as a supplier. They might ask say Dell system, they might ask 100 raw material or under components they might ask. But when I check my inventory, I see that this one, these under quantities, I cannot deliver it by next week. I might take another 3 more days it might take. So based on that, I can suggest on the new date. So there I can initiate a supplier initiated change orders can be done. And this also you can initiate it mainly using supplier portal itself. If you have license to supplier portal, you can this one click on manage order, search for that order, and you can click on edit so that you can initiate a supplier initiated change orders. And this also, once the supplier initiate those, it will go for the respective approvals. Whatever is the company level approvals which are mainly in place, it will go to the company level approvals internally within the organization, and once it is approved, only the purchase order gets changed with the new date. So those kinds of things you can do it through supply portal. If you don't have access to the supply portal, then you will have to communicate to whoever is the point of contact in that particular organization. You will either mail them or using this one other modes of communication. You will communicate that this it might take another say 5 days time it might take for you to deliver those products. Based on that, they will themselves initiate those change orders and update it in the application if you don't have the supplier portal access. Any questions till here, or are we?
Yeah, good.
No. This is just to show you one end-to-end cycle how it is going. If you see it for the same product itself, it the screens are getting linked.
Right, right.
So the just to show you that that flow of information and this one material flow, how these things are getting coordinated, just to show you that is what I have captured the screenshots. It has
Yeah.
nothing. The means it is we are not going into detail of each and every this one modules as part of the curriculum, but just to show you the breadth and depth of this product is what yeah, this one I'm showing this as part of an introductory this one module introductory overview for the SCM side.
Okay.
Now, here, so once any changes is mainly in place, the planner will trigger those changes. The supplier can look into those changes, and if he accept it, automatically, if you see earlier screenshot, if you see, it was showing with a warning sign that with a suggestion. Now, once the supplier accept this, what happens is in the planning, it gets updated with the new date.
So I have a question.
Oh,
The supplier vendor,
hmm.
the what did you call it? Supplier. What was it called?
This one, lagering system. So this is the one. If you see the
No, no, no.
screenshot.
Can you go to the
Oh,
next slide? Supplier portal. Sorry.
portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the supplier portal.
Hmm.
So if I am subscribed to Oracle,
Yeah.
do you also have to be subscribed to use the supplier portal, or because you are my supplier, you can use this?
No, okay. So this is okay. What it happens is, for example, I'll tell you. I understood your question. This one. So if I am part of an organization, say ABC organization, this is my organization. I'm just putting my organization name, or Vision is my organization name. So I have bought a license mainly to say supplier portal. I have bought a license. So this also supplier portal say for 1,100 users is what I might have this license in place. When I buy this product, everything comes up with those particular numbers associated 400 users or 1,000 users in that manner. You will have it. Now, whenever I create a supplier, this I'll be doing it internal, means within my organization. Whenever I create the supplier, say the supplier is Dell or the supplier is HP. Whenever I create the supplier, I have an option to create an account for that particular supplier contact. So Dell, for Dell, the supplier contact might be say this one, James. James Post. I'm just writing in an example. For HP, it might be say this one, Ryan, Henrik, some person, some point of contact will be there. So these guys might have this one as part of the contact. They might have provided the mail IDs associated. James at mail dot this one mail.com, or Ryan at this one whatever is hp.com, in that manner they would provide those mail IDs which are mainly in place. So whenever I create the supplier, I have this option to create an account for that particular supplier. So when I click on this create account for that particular supplier, using their username, how normally how we users log in, they will be able to log into the application. And this whatever is the application login which they have, it will be confined to my organization alone. If they are having another, say, similar to my organization, if they are a supplier of another organization, say this one, what is it, ABC organization, also they are a supplier for that. But they won't this whatever the product which they have access to is this one particular to mine, so they won't be seeing or they won't be able to manage any other orders for any other customer from their end. They won't be able to manage in the application. This will be relevant only for my organization, for whatever the orders and whatever the things which I create for them. You got your question query answered, or you are having some other doubt related to this?
So yeah, I created the account. Okay, okay,
Ah,
okay. My thing is, I think I may have misunderstood. Like the
hmm.
portal is not the supplier portal is for us to use,
No,
and
no, no.
the actual suppliers will only get
Ah,
their email, right?
no, no, no. The suppliers, it is the actual suppliers. They will be able to use the application.
As well.
Yes,
And we are the only one that's paying for it, right?
we are the one who is paying for it. Yes.
Okay, 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 okay. So it's like a complimentary for them. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And for example, if the supplier is having this one, so for Vision, my application, this one, this might be the environment which I will be using. And if some other, say some other organization who's again using Fusion, they might have something, some other this one environment is in place. Yeah, and if the supplier say Dell is common to them, common to both the organization, here you will have to use this environment. Here you will have to use my
Sure, sure,
environment. So
sure.
in that manner, the environment will be different. The login will be different for those if he is having access to multiple. It's not like as a supplier, you are a supplier for say 100 organization, and every organization you might have say a supplier portal license might be paid by the respective organization. But as a supplier, yours won't be a common account where you can go in and see the orders for each and every this one
Yeah,
each
yeah.
and every
Okay, I understand.
parties
Yeah,
with which you
okay,
are
okay.
performing your business. For them, they will have to individually log into the respective environments, and then only they will be able to see those orders or that transaction relevant to that particular organization.